The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. The show is brought to you by Levi's Solicitors, who are celebrating their 90th birthday, and they look good on it, which means there is a different big three. Michael, can you tell us what these are, please?
I'm going to start with lasting powers of attorney, because we've got to keep that one fresh.
Fresh.
The other three, stroke two, obviously wills and conveyancing, still going strong into the 90th year.
They certainly are. What's the different offer this time, though?
You get 15% off.
Wow.
There you go. Buy a house immediately.
Buy a house immediately. Sell a house immediately. Create a will immediately. Of course, all of the other offers are still there at 10%. The 15% offer is on from now until the end of October, so the 31st of October. Right, we move on, and we are starting with a brand new series of propaganda from the 24-25 season. With me is Michael Normanton and Chris McMenemy. How are you doing, boys?
I'm all right. It's an unfamiliar lineup, is this?
Yeah,
it is.
It's a League Cup lineup.
I was going to say in a League Cup week, this apart from the youngsters, we're trying out. I mean, I suppose this might actually be the youngest average three-part lineup we've ever had. I'm trying to think.
It doesn't look it.
It doesn't.
Let's say that.
Well, we're Leeds fans. Things are not easy.
We've been through a few things. How's it been, Michael, then, trawling through hours of opposition fan channels? Have you missed it?
A bit, actually. Yes, a little bit. I mean, the Premier League hasn't started yet, so that is kind of the source of a lot of the madness of it. I've still managed to get a little bit of Chelsea in, just because, and Leicester, I suppose, who are technically Premier League.
Well,
not really.
Still a League One club, are they not?
No, not really. They're a cheating, perennial financial cheats, Leicester. But we'll start on Pompey then. And Pompey in it mush is the one I found. He's a teenage lad doing this. I don't know if it's his dad or some other older bloke on it too. I will compliment their starting sequence on this, which they've got teams lined up in Subbuteo. They've got like a Portsmouth team, a Leeds team. Pans across to an old school Subbuteo scoreboard with like the little numbers in it, and then at the end of the video it goes back with the full-time scoring. It's really, really nicely done.
I just saw that. I had a little click before. It's very high production value.
Yeah, it's very nicely done. But he's a young lad. He's quite excitable. And this is him, and I think the older guy is called Mush because he refers to him as Mush.
Is he called Mush, or is this something they've dreamt up?
Or is it just, does he call everyone Mush? I don't
really know what that means.
No.
I thought it was more of like a Yorkshire thing, like, all right, Mush.
Yeah, I think it's being used in the same way, but I don't know if this guy in particular is Mush. Or anyway, you'll hear it. This is them making a pre-match prediction, and you have got to say, fair enough.
Leeds away tomorrow. I cannot wait. Championship, early kick-off. Can never predict the first game of the season. I'm going to say 1-1. Late goal for Pompey. What about you, Mush?
I was going to say exactly the same. I think we'll nick a draw. I was going to say 1-1. It could be 1-1, could be 3-3. All right, I'm going to go for a repeat of Sheffield Wednesday the other year. I'm going to say we'll nick a 3-3.
Wow.
Can you nick a 3-3?
And who nicked it? Was it us? Was it them?
We definitely nicked it.
On the balance of the game, you'd say they nicked it because they didn't have any shots.
But I think the nicking element to this was Aronson's equaliser. That's what brought it over to our...
I'd like to know if he put a bet on that.
Yeah. Because 3-3 is not... Did we have any 3-3s last year? I'm not sure we did. It's a once every couple of seasons scoreline is 3-3.
Aston Villa away when Radrizzani decided to sack Bielsa, that was a 3-3. So should we sack Farke after that?
Well,
if you had a look at forums / Twitter, it was being suggested in part, which I've kind of reflected on it. I think it was all right, wasn't it? Just about as a performance, like we played well. We should have won.
It should have been the Sheffield Wednesday Plymouth game. It should have been 4-0. It wasn't, and that's football. That's the championship.
Got some Plymouth fans to hear from in a bit.
Great.
Just not to give any spoilers, but they're not overly pleased with that performance.
I wonder why. It's almost as if hiring Rooney and letting him fail again has been tried and tested before. Are we going to hear some more from Innit Mush?
Yes, so he's talking to some Leeds fans outside the East Stand. In fairness, they're not English, so I don't know if there's a language limitation here, but he's trying to speak to them about our transfer business and what they think of it.
Your transfer window has been busy. Anyone we should look out for today?
No, I don't think so. It's no.
No.
That's a positive.
Yeah.
Sound anyone good? No.
Well, he's not wrong, is he?
No, that's true. Joe Rothwell.
He's not wrong, is he? No, that's harsh. I like Rothwell.
Brendan Aaronson's like a new signing. I think we can all...
Well, Bogle is the new signing from the starting lineup, and maybe this fan outside of Ellen Road was just predicting it again, just going, well, probably not anything to
seen him defend.
Yeah.
Seen him defend. I will say my criticism of Bogle, while fair, I don't think it was a penalty. Having seen it back,
I was right beside it, and it was very much a penalty. I thought.
See, I think he's grabbing Bogle first though, because he's not
stupid. No,
it is stupid defending, but he only fouls him because the striker's got his arm like round holding Bogle's shirt behind him, which admittedly is clever because the ref can't see that side.
Yeah.
I feel like stuff like that happens about 100 times in a game.
Yeah, I think I'm probably being a bit harsh on Bogle. I watched some of the clips back this morning, and going forward, he did actually look. He probably looked a bit better than Archie did. Is that? Am I going to get hanged for that? I don't know.
No, but I think his instincts seem good. I mean, he did put it on a plate for Aronson in the last minute as well, didn't he? That was him. Yeah. So yeah, it just needs a bit of defensive work, and we can, if we're going to score 3 every game, we can afford to give 1 away. It's just the 3 was the issue.
I'd rather we didn't.
Yeah, it was unnecessary.
It felt like it, especially with their XG being below 1. And they could score 3 goals. It's unfair. The league's corrupt.
I did look at the XG, you know. Their first 2 goals came from an XG of 0.19. And if Rutter had been that efficient last season, he'd have scored 168 goals. And as a team, we'd have scored 995.
It's Leeds that, innit?
Which I think I would accept 168 goals from a striker.
I still think we wouldn't have gone up. Leicester would have scored 972.
Contrived. But it does kind of highlight just how ridiculous the situation was that they'd scored twice from literally nothing in the game. It was a strange one. Should we hear Pompey in it mush at 1-0?
Yes, let's. Sounded very enthusiastic to be 1-0 down.
It's the most atmospheric game he'd ever been in, he said.
Wow.
You forget how long they've been in League One, actually.
Yeah.
Because I know when from my Lowfield spot, there were some Portsmouth fans walking past, and one of them, this is a bit bigger than what we're used to, which was obviously ripe for double entendre. But yeah, just seeing the East Stand and being like, because you forget how shit League One is. There are some proper poxy little stadiums in there.
Yeah. Stadium of Light was there for a long time, I suppose. Well, I mean, to me, Portsmouth is UEFA Cup 2009 or 2008 maybe. Ronaldinho scoring at Fratton Park against them. So I can't imagine this kid remembers that, does he?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. If I had to guess his age, I'm at that old person stage of finding it impossible to tell whether he's 10 or
27.
He could well be a doctor, this lad. I've no idea. He'd just turn up, sorry, and be like, oh, you're a teacher? Okay, cool. I thought you were 15, but that's fine. So that was him enjoying being a goal down.
Well, it sounded like it, yeah.
I suppose. But then we reach half-time, and they are obviously in the lead, and so this is that.
Half-time, 2-1 Pompey. Oh my God, I do not believe it. Have I woken up from my dream yet? I don't know, but this is absolutely amazing. I mean, first 10 minutes, Leeds hit the bar 3 times, and I was like, we're in for a game here. I thought we were going to get hammered, but Pompey have turned it around, and I just don't believe it. What do you think, Mush?
Well, I'm worn out first half, to be honest. I'm absolutely shattered. Absolutely cracking. Yeah, they're a lot faster, aren't they, Leeds? All like, a lot. The movement's fast, but what a shite by Callum Lang.
And Sorensen's goal that was a brilliant goal. Turned magnificently and just struck it beautifully.
Roll on a second half.
I think by the end of this game, I might be deaf in both ears and lost my voice.
I think he's given his age away there when his voice broke halfway through.
Well, you'll enjoy then this noise. It's a very short clip. This is the noise he made when the third went in. And again, it's right up at the top.
It is. That could almost be a live stream from Disneyland Paris where Dan is on a ride screaming his head off.
And that is Dan.
Bless him. But he enjoyed himself.
He did well. You would, like we just said, if he wasn't around for the Yakubu TY shirts that Portsmouth used to have in the Premier League, then this is as big as it gets being at Ellen Road.
A Beanie Baby sponsor really does date
it really does.
shirt, doesn't it?
I wonder how much they're worth now, the Portsmouth shirts. Thousands.
I listened to a podcast about Beanie Babies. Now there was like a huge explosion of collectors, and then they sort of were worth nothing. But people were like, because the value of them kept going up, and then when new ones came out, people were like travelling hundreds of miles to buy these things, and then people were just like, what you bought them for? It's just a load of, it's just some shit toys.
Have we got some Beanie Baby propaganda on the list here somewhere?
No, that was just an aside. But then weirdly, from him squeaking in the West Stand, he's then in the West End car park, and this is happening, which is just a jarring change for me.
Marlon Pack, first game back in the Championship after 12 years. How are you feeling?
Tired, yeah. After that one, yeah. Obviously, a very good Leeds side, and some real quality, Premier League quality, I feel so. But yeah, we competed, we battled, and took our chances when they came.
Yeah, he's doing like
Fair play.
just doing like player interviews in the car park somehow.
What kind of access has this kid got?
He's just stood next to like other autograph hunters in the car park, but I guess he must have spoken to Marlon Pack before and he's got him over, but he's just doing like standard match of the day stuff with Marlon Pack. He's like, yeah, tough game, we go again. Obviously we got a big cup game midweek, keen to prove ourselves, tough game, tough place to come. He's just doing rattle through all the cliches.
Yeah, and the kid's delivery on the question was perfect. He's watched a lot of Match of the Day, a lot of Sky Sports. He's nailing it.
Enjoyed that a lot. So anyway, this is the final word from Pompey in it mush.
What a day. I don't think there will be a game that tops that. The atmosphere, the result, just everything about it was probably the best game I've ever been to in my life. What do you think of it, Mush?
I thought, yeah, cracking game to start the Championship. Hopefully all the people who were like, oh, we're going to get beat 6-0 or this, that and the other, they get behind us now as well, because I just thought, Leeds, you can buy a player for 30 million, you can't buy that spirit. I think, yeah, we did ride our luck a bit, but we had 3 chances, scored 3 goals. They had, 20 chances and scored 3 goals, so well happy with that.
Taking my cynical Leeds fan hat off for a second, that's what football is all about. This young kid just having a really nice time, until obviously he gets jaded and old, like the three of us. But that's just really nice to hear someone having a nice time, even if it is at our expense a little bit.
It's a bit like that Cardiff City fan last year when it was the game Cardiff scored twice and he's just like, I can't fucking believe it! I can't fucking believe it! I remember leaving Leeds 4, Derby 3 and being like, that's it. That's the best game I'm ever going to see. That'll be the absolute peak. I mean, in fairness, had Brendan stuck that one away, there would have been young Leeds fans being like, that's the best game I've ever seen. To have come back and, got the 2 goals in injury time would have been quite a thing.
Like there would have been Leeds fans last year with the 3-1 against Leicester at home, who would leave with exactly the same thought process. But I think it maybe would have taken some of the shine off this young man's day had Brendan have done what he's fucking paid to do. Put it in the back of the net, boy.
It would have been funny, though.
It would have been funny.
Yeah.
And
that's what we're here for.
Yes.
to watch him cry.
To hear a young teenage boy's voice break in and throw into his older mate Mush, that would have been nice.
I'd like to point out one thing to Mush. We can't sign anyone for 30 million.
No, I was thinking that.
I don't even know if we can sign anyone for 10 million at the minute.
I think is the row offer up to 7.1. Are we doing as we recommended on the last
pound?
No, that's nowhere near 7.2.
7 million and a lawnmower.
We said no. We said it's nowhere near 7.21.
7.1 plus Vober, so 7.2.
Good old Max. Didn't see him, did we? He did receive, however, on the player ratings, I think it was 4.6. Did Max Verber for his presumably his running up and down the touchline.
So he fucked that up as well.
Whereas the other subs, like I think it was Gelhardt and Dalla, both got 7 for their role on the touchline.
Cheerleading. Did you see?
So he's rightly being marked down.
Did you see the video that the official Leeds United Twitter put out, where their players were all just saying their names? Did you see this one? And when it got to Verber, he was stood like he was some sort of nightclub bouncer. He went, Maximilian Verber. Like he's really trying to push this warrior narrative.
Well, I hope his next club enjoy him.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Where are we going next, Michael?
Confusingly, we're going to hear Brendan's equaliser from someone called Brendan, who was in the Portsmouth end.
Right. Okay.
So this is just it playing out, and you get the tension of watching your team defend a late lead here.
the shaking, I apologise. Yes! Oh, no, get up. It's not a foul. It's not a foul. Shit.
Wonderful stuff.
Class. I can't see the clip, so I'm just listening to it, and it sounds like he's in the dugout, but also halfway up the stand.
Yeah, he's kind of midway down the west stand, but yeah, I like your person in your back, and you can just hear yelling, pressure, pressure, pressure.
Yeah, there were 4 words there that really sum up that experience of trying to defend a lead. The first one was tighter. Don't know what that means. Second one was away. We all know what away means. Get that fucking ball away. Pressure, and then shit. 4 brilliant words that sum up a failed attempt to keep a lead.
Why didn't Brendan score that last one? There'd have been such heartbreak in there.
Yeah.
What a waste. What a complete waste of propaganda.
Yeah, we've had a much lighter show, I think, today.
Anyway, let's go to some genuine pain now. Cornish Janner, the Plymouth fan, we had him on last year after our many games against Plymouth, but he's straight back in the car. He normally does more structured videos there, but I think the game was such that he just went live on YouTube immediately upon getting back to the car. You can hear his mate also ranting in the background. I don't know if he's meant to be ranting on the video, whether he's ranting to someone else, but it's not a happy place.
No passion, no vision, no desire, no aggression, no thinking ahead, tactically inept, wank, shit. There's no other words I need to say. To anyone that watched us on Sky Sports today, I feel so sorry for you. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. This ranting will not stop here, because this is going to be all covering myself for later on when I record my outro for this upcoming dreading episode. Honestly, the new signings were wank.
And it goes on. You get the general.
Is that Leicester podcast?
What's that?
Is that Leicester podcast?
No, he's the Plymouth guy. I see. Oh, I see.
Just the...
I see, yes.
masturbation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That other guy clearly has another YouTube channel. Do you not think? They're crossing the streams.
Possibly,
it's YouTube,
yeah.
YouTube Inception.
Yeah, if I go, I might be able to find the other...
You'll be able to find the other side of it.
Ah, nice. It's going to be like a complex plot where you see the story from both sides.
Yeah.
And then they'll converge at a later point.
They'll converge at the announcement of Rooney's contract being terminated. That's where the crescendo happens.
When is that happening?
Have you seen that? So the director of football at Plymouth is from Liverpool, and he's only signed Liverpool managers.
It's got Ryan Lowe's name all over it, hasn't it?
Apparently, that's who they're linked with.
Is it really already?
They're talking already of... Well, I mean, apparently, could be anyone. I'm not going to name any names, but supposedly Ryan Lowe. I mean, it will be Ryan Lowe.
Cilla Black. Or Ringo Starr, potentially.
I mean,
at least he's alive.
Yeah.
That is true, yeah.
Cilla's not with us anymore.
But would Plymouth fans rather have dead Cilla Black or Wayne Rooney in charge? It's probably a toss-up after that.
The reanimated corpse of Cilla Black versus England's second.
It would
top
be her
goal scorer.
greatest surprise yet if she is exhumed and becomes Plymouth manager.
It certainly would.
But they've got Leeds boys in midfield as well, haven't they? So let's see how they did.
Let's move into the midfield.
Crap.
Yeah, Guy Abbey non-existent.
No invention, no creativity.
Yeah.
Same old thing with Argo since his has gone.
Yeah, not good enough. Forshaw, he was all right.
Is that just Forshaw? Has he ever been better than all right? You rarely left a game going, Forshaw was amazing today. You just go, yeah, Forshaw was, he's all right.
I always liked him.
I did, and I think it's in context with the midfield that we had, he did a useful job. But if they are doing fuck all, which is what it sounds like they are, you need someone in that midfield who's going to progress the ball. And it sounds like neither Forshaw, and they spelt his name wrong on the back of his shirt. Did we see that?
They did do that.
And Guy Arby, I don't know who Guy is, are clearly not going to be progressing the ball in the way that they wanted to.
The groans when they mentioned his name from the back went into the midfield, Guy Arby, and somebody in the back just went, as if they're already absolutely sick of him after
We did
a
pay
game.
$5 million for him, by the way.
Yeah. Although I'm telling myself it was part of a financial fair play wheeze with Man City, and we were forced to. The Calvin fee was higher because that was also part of it. Maybe.
Be careful. Lord Panic will be after you.
It seems to be what people are doing. And Man City, if you want to lawyer up and come for me, I've got Levi solicitors on my side. What have you got?
Well, they've got a lot of.
They've got a lot of.
Make that 116 charges.
Yeah. Where next?
They've got their hands full, haven't they?
They do. Where next?
Speaking of people with their hands full, Leicester Till I Die TV. Thought I'd check in. I didn't listen long enough to hear the wanking material because it was an hour and 20 minutes or something was this show. But this was in the first couple of minutes. They obviously went up last year. Should be looking forward to the season. It seems they're not, because this is what they had to say.
A week and a day off the start of the new season, and I'm feeling really upbeat and positive. No, I'm fucking not. I tell you what, we've got more chance of winning the Leicestershire over 65s walking football league than we have of winning a game in the Premier League. This is pretty much almost the same squad as last season. With our two best players from last season, Mavididi and Fatawu, look like they are little and large, to be honest with you. They are playing absolutely awful. Winks looks lost in the midfield. Hermansen, apparently he's a really top-class goalkeeper, but we don't trust him to take goal kicks. Yeah, it's a joke. I'm not one of those that's asking for Steve Cooper to go. He was one of my choices, and I will stick with him. But there has got to be a vast improvement, because what I have been watching pre-season has been absolutely shite. Yes, we do need different players. Granted, I accept that. But with the players we've got, he's not got a tune. It's like he's trying to play a guitar with two broken strings. It has been absolutely shit. If he was in charge playing that way last season, no way would we have got promoted. In fact, we were more than likely would have got relegated. That is how bad it is at the moment.
It's very generous of him to give some more time to a manager who's not played a proper game yet.
I thought that. I'm not one of the people calling for him to go after what I presume. Oh no! In fact, this was ahead of. Looks like they might have lost 3-0 to Lens since this happened. I'm not sure exactly where this all falls within the timeline here, but that's good to know. It's not going well.
Give over. You know what I mean? Like, you're in the Premier League. Just shut up. I mean, I haven't considered Leicester since they went up, but I'm just looking at their squad now. It doesn't seem that they've signed anyone.
I think they were getting someone from Leverkusen, it seemed, the other day.
They signed
on loan
Caleb Okoli from Atalanta, but they've already got Connor Cody, England centre back. So why would they need to worry about that? Nice to hear Harry Winks getting some hate.
I have always disliked Harry Winks. I was always relieved when we didn't sign him. I've seen him play loads of times, and I've yet to see him do anything.
I watched him for Sampdoria at Fiorentina. To be fair, Sampdoria were bottom, basically already relegated, but it was like watching one of us play in a professional team whilst being like the midfield fulcrum. And it was like the game just passed him by.
Tommaso Bianchi vibes.
Oh yeah.
For anyone who remembers that stellar Leeds career, when he turned up and people were like, oh, he's quality. He keeps it ticking over. He'll make us purr. And then we're like, 4 games in, people are like, he doesn't do anything, does he? Yeah. Shit, I've just realised.
I mean, if you translate his name into English, it's Tommy White. If you sign Tommy White, you're not as excited. I don't think.
No, he's got free transfer from. He did well for Gillingham last year. Contract ran down. We've got him. He's only on $4,000 a week. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, Steve Cooper likely to be out of a job. But if he's out of a job by the point Chelsea have sacked Maresca, does Maresca go back there? Does Lowe go back to Plymouth? You can see how these things are going to potentially all slot in, because Maresca's not going to last at Chelsea, is he?
Does anyone last at Chelsea, though?
That's very true.
Carlo Ancelotti didn't last at Chelsea.
No.
So I don't see why Maresca would have much hope.
Has he only done it once, Ancelotti?
Yeah, it was Gus Hiddink who did it twice. Remember that?
Yeah. It feels like, because Mourinho's had a couple of goes.
Yeah.
Hiddink had a couple of goes. It feels like at some point Ancelotti might go back for like 6 months. I dragged out of retirement to see him through like a campaign from January onwards or something.
Quick quiz question that I got wrong the other day. Who won the Champions League for Chelsea the first time round, manager.
Di Matteo.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten that lad had a stint there.
Yeah.
Didn't he get sacked in within months of winning the Champions League?
Yep, out you go.
Yeah. It almost doesn't matter though at Chelsea. Although they do seem to have actually broken it now, because for years they were on this churn of managers, and somehow they'd have a season where they finish sixth, then they bring someone else in and they win the league, and it always felt a bit unfair. It's like this lack of stability should lead to you being shit, and it isn't doing. Whereas now it seems to have achieved it, which is good. So should we hear from Chelsea Fan TV?
Let's.
There's not much of this, and you'll be glad there's not. This is a video entitled "Heated Debate Between Passionate Chelsea Fans."
Fucking hell.
Do you want to hear what heated debate sounds like?
Go on.
You are Ramramavich supporter. I
am indeed.
But that's not.
But you can't play
That's
pop.
not our management.
When they're Man United.
Know your club.
Who was the man?
Our club is Chelsea.
Who was the man after Hazard?
No. He's even injured now.
Where's Mount?
He's even injured now. He's sick now. Reece James is sick now.
Listen.
That's enough of that, innit? I like it how
Let's never do that again.
The guy at the start's too pissed to say Abramovich. He goes, "You are a Abramovich supporter."
Why do they feel like this is good enough to stick out online that people can actually find it and see it?
This was outside the game. I think they just played Inter Milan. Internazionale. I know you're an Italian football man. You might object to Inter Milan. Is that a thing that you don't call them Inter Milan?
It's AC or Milan, and then Inter or Inter.
Oh, okay.
I mean, call them Internazionale if you want. If you want a bit of flair. Like Micah Richards.
Is that what he does?
He calls them International. Oh, no, it was Jimmy Carragher. International.
Oh. You seemed really chuffed with yourself, though, when you said it. You had a little pep in your step.
You know, chorizo. I'm going to start saying...
In Barcelona.
I'm going to start saying... I'm going to start saying some other words with a very strong accent as well. Finished then on a bit of The Guardian. So they just talked about our game very briefly, but there's probably a couple of bits in this that we should pick up on.
Yeah, to come into the Championship for the first time in such a long time, and to go against the Leeds side that will be, inevitably promoted this season, I thought they did really, really well. What an exciting game. And that's the thing. That's the thing about the EFL. Because there's so many games, and because of the variance in the players or whatever, we get games like this. And, it's not quite like the Premier League where the stakes are so high. Sometimes teams are kind of choked to play in a certain way and try and be really solid defensively, whatever. People just go for it here. It's really great.
Who's this dickhead using words like inevitably?
I heard that and I went, whoa. I know we did come in here the other day and predict we would finish top, but I don't feel it's inevitable.
It's more the teams going for it.
Mm.
Have you watched any other game at Ellen Road in the last 5 Leeds United Championship seasons?
Yeah, the Gary Munker taking 40 seconds over a throw-in 3 minutes in. You're like, they're not going for it. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a jumpers for goalposts cliche of the EFL that teams are it's just wild down there. I accept there's a thing that it's probably more the case that anyone can beat anyone. Although last year that felt like it applied less than normal because the top 3 just won most weeks. But yeah, it's not great. It's a terrible league, and I hate it. And I want to get out of it straight away.
But it is better, I think, for the competition element of it, because if there was a team that was inevitably, using this guy's words, going to win the league, say a Man City playing against who went up last season, Ipswich, it is not the same game as what we saw at Ellen Road.
No.
So there is a different element to it. Let's just jump in the time machine. Chris, if you were doing the prediction show with us, this was before the Portsmouth game, be honest, what would you have gone for finishing position?
8 minutes into the game on Saturday, I turned to the guy beside me and said, we're going to absolutely walk this league. And I still stand by that.
Yeah.
I think we'll win it comfortably. And I'm waiting for this to be clipped at the end of the season and to be called a ginger fraud. But,
oh, it will be clipped. I think Dan's going to keep a track of all of our predictions across the season.
Nice.
It don't matter, though.
No, of course it doesn't. I was going to say to you before, like when we all sat here and predicted we were going to win the league, it's theatre, darling.
But do you know what I did though? As much as I thought I was thinking the same, I also had failed to put on my pre-match bet. I'd forgotten to bet on Portsmouth. So having gone a goal up, I went on and on betting exchanges you can lay, and I said I basically laid £50 that Leeds would fail to win that game. So I won £50 from us from us failing to win that game. I think we were at that point, decimal odds wise, we were 1.09 to win that game. So like, it was definitely happening.
And it didn't.
And then it didn't.
How are you getting the signal on Ellen Road to do that?
It was a rare. I think everyone was so happy. Everyone was like just enjoying the game rather than being on the phones. Whereas at half time, you've no chance, have you? It's a completely dead one. Dan's tip of occasionally flicking it onto the 3G sometimes works, but I keep mine on 5G because I've got the vaccine, so it works better.
Yeah, it channels through your arm.
I've got asthma, so I'm like quadruple boosted. I'm ready to rock.
You're a beacon of signal everywhere you go.
Drones keep landing in my back garden. I don't know what's going on.
Right, well, thank you very much for joining us here at Propaganda. We are not doing a match ball tomorrow because of holidays and various things, but there will be a Luke Ayling / League Cup special landing into your podcast feed and on YouTube at some point on Wednesday. So we will speak to you then. Thank you for joining us.
The Square Ball Podcast.